Leon only said, "I'll meet you in Barcaldine at 3 p.m. on Sunday. No landmark, address, GPS. How am I meant to..." Okay, there he is. Due to the time restraints of travelling 15,000 kilometres in 22 days, we didn't quite get a chance to visit all of the interesting places just a bit off the highway.
Lark Quarry is 110 kilometres southwest of Winton in central Queensland and is the site of the world's only known record of a dinosaur stampede. The area around Winton is dinosaur country.
Australia's most central surf club has never had a drowning. It is also more than 300 kilometres from the coast. We are travelling into the northern savannah. This is the area where those intrepid explorers of yesteryear, Burke and Wills, died. It is hot and it is dry.
The site of the Sydney Observatory, known as Observatory Hill, is the highest point overlooking Sydney Harbour. It has some of the best views in Sydney. The observatory was built in 1857. The North Dome and West Office Wing were added to the observatory in 1878. It had a timekeeping role, and the tower and time ball were given greater prominence than the telescope dome. Weather and other information was communicated by signal flags to the people of Sydney. Signal flags on the hill announced the arrival of ships into Sydney Harbour. The North Dome was needed because the time ball and tower blocks much of the view of the eastern sky from the original South Dome. To be able to make observations whenever necessary, the government astronomer needed to live on site. The residents occupied the eastern half of the building. The telescope in the South Dome was installed to observe the 1874 transit of Venus. It is the oldest working telescope in Australia. From 1887, Sydney Observatory took part in an international project to photograph and map the entire sky.
Meanwhile, back in northern Queensland, we're about to run out of road. Trucks are everywhere, on every road, on every track. After the bumpy 3-hour ride we had since we left Sealed Road, we managed to find somewhere to pitch camp on the edge of the national park. It'll do.
Some of this dust was still coming out of this bike a year later, and now covers much of southeast Queensland.
The GPS says we're in it. Why don't we climb up that 30-metre ridge and see if we can see anything? Oh, okay, we found it. The crater is 18 kilometres across and it has an eroded central peak in its centre where a unique microenvironment thrives. The entire rim is made up of broken and shocked rock. Lawn Hill Crater is also home to the world's largest zinc mine.
It is highly probable that up to 25% of the large impact sites on Earth have mineable resources, all put in place by an event that sent a shockwave through the rocks, much like a centrifuge separating minerals in a test tube. The hot, dry savanna of far northwestern Queensland may seem an unlikely place to find one of the world's most abundant and important fossil deposits. Riversley contains hundreds of fossil sites ranging from 15 to 25 million years old. These sites tell of an Australia very different from the dry continent of today. This was a thick rainforest that was home to hundreds of different animals. Huge birds, some up to 400 kilograms or more in weight, stalked along the dark forest floor and waterways that wound through the forest, where the fearsome crocodile baru, with its cleaver-like head, also resided. It is one of only a handful of fossil sites around the world that has been listed as a World Heritage Site.